So we all do live with fatigue, and some of us kind of help fatigue. We grab coffee for a short burst of energy, and sometimes we drink energy drinks to kind of give us energy as well. But this is really just a patching solution. It's not a long-term solution, and it doesn't get to kind of the root cause of why are you feeling fatigued. Okay, so we need to really try and listen to our bodies and understand what the fatigue and what these symptoms are really telling us.
Well, what are some of the common reasons that people might feel this fatigue?
Some of the reasons that you might feel fatigued are if you're having sleep issues. Obviously, if you don't have good sleep, then you're going to feel tired the next day. If you have thyroid imbalance, you might be having some fatigue. If your liver is very congested and having some detox issues, you might have fatigue issues as well. And then inflammation, blood sugar imbalance, and if you have poor circulation, all this can really lead to the common symptom of fatigue.
And oftentimes, the fatigue that people complain a lot is some people, they just wake up and already feel lethargic. Some of them actually feel better after they eat a little bit of food, and then they start going down. And a lot of them, they do quite well during the morning, but then they kind of run out of steam in the afternoon, and they really have what we call an afternoon slump. And interestingly, the fatigue actually goes down in the evening time is what we call a second wind. And that's a very classic telltale sign of adrenal issues, because when the body's adrenal system loses its reserve, the cortisol kicks in and you have a second chance, so to say. But that's also part of the fatigue picture. But also, very interestingly, is that some of the people come to us, they actually don't have fatigue, they have other symptoms. So you don't necessarily have to have fatigue, although that's very, very common. Now, we use the word fatigue, lack of energy, reduced exercise capacity, all kind of in the same ballpark. But if you take a step back, it's really the body that's running low on reserve and it's whispering to you that it doesn't like it. So therefore, the body slows you down in order to conserve energy. And that's really the mechanism of what fatigue is all about. It's something that is natural consequence of a body in trouble.
Right.
Okay?
And the NEM stress response, which is the neuroendometabolic stress response, is how our body deals with stress. So all the symptoms that we listed off before, like the sleep issues or thyroid, they correlate with different circuits. So for example, we have 6 circuits in our neuroendometabolic stress response. If you're having sleep issues, it could relate to more of a neuroaffect circuit issue. If you have thyroid imbalance, hormone imbalance, that correlates with the hormone circuit being off. If you have liver congestion, that's more of a detox circuit issue. And inflammation, gut issues, that's like inflammation circuit. And blood sugar issues correlates with the bioenergetic circuit. And poor circulation with the cardionomic circuit.
Yeah, and fatigue it really belongs to the bioenergetic circuit, because every cell of our body has a little organelle called mitochondria, and the mitochondria is responsible to make ATP, which is the fuel to drive the body. So if the mitochondria is not performing as well as it should, or you don't have the raw material to supply the body, it's just like you don't put enough gasoline in the car, how do you expect the car to go? So this is a telltale sign of fatigue, okay?
Right, and so it's actually very important to kind of determine which dominant circuits are affected in you. So even if you do have adrenal fatigue, you might also have a liver congestion, and your detoxification circuit might be affected as well. So that's why it's really important to identify which circuit is stressed, and then we can develop a plan of action to address these circuits.
And then one of the most common mistakes that practitioners and lay people alike is when you're faced with fatigue, the intrinsic kickstart reaction is, well, let me put something in my body to get rid of it. So they use stimulants, whether it's herbs, glandulars, medications, donuts, sugary food. Is all that the mindset is all about, well, I don't want the fatigue. But it's not necessarily the best approach, because fatigue is really a sign. It's really not a problem in itself. So you really want to understand what the body is leading you to. And that's what we do, is we don't take these symptoms lightly. We use a natural, systematic approach to see which of the circuits are really affected to what degree in real time. And once you are able to identify these circuits and you give the body the raw material, then the fatigue tend to improve. So that is more long term rather than just patching the system with a variety of external ways. Huh?
That's right. So if you actually have fatigue and liver congestion, then you might need detox protocols and supplements such as juicing, enemas, charcoal patches are very good for detox. Glutathione, dandelion tea is also very good for detox.
And these are some of the things you do concurrently, or you have to plan it out. You know, it's not just, oh, let's rush to get that fatigue, and then the liver get congested, and then you rush to fix the liver. And then when the liver gets fixed, then it backfires on the adrenals. So, you know, you don't want to be in that situation. It's almost like riding a bicycle. You have to have the right foot, left foot, right foot in sync. That way you move forward smoothly.
Right. And so, like you said, concurrently, if you're working on the liver, you want to work on the adrenals. And what do the adrenals usually require? The cofactors that the adrenals need to make all its hormones is vitamin C, vitamin B5, like pantothenic acid, even the use of some adaptogenic herbs, depending what stage of adrenal fatigue you're at. And a good, adrenal fatigue diet and lifestyle. Doing the breathing is very important, adrenal breathing, and some adrenal yoga exercises that will help with adrenal repair.